Why are we up, and what should we be learning on Shavuos night?
There are three main reasons why we are up the night of Shavuos. Reason number one is brought down in the Zohar. It says that the Chassidim or the Rishonim didn't used to sleep on the night of Shavuos. They would learn Torah the whole night, and they would say, "Come and prepare ourselves before us going and greeting the Torah the next morning when we receive it." So that's really an original source brought down in the Zohar. Second reason is based on the Medrash. The Medrash is that the night of Shavuos, Am Yisrael slept extra deep, and when it came to the idea that Moshe had to introduce them to the Torah in the morning, Moshe Rabbeinu unfortunately had to go and wake up the Yidden. That's what the pasuk says, Madua basi ve'ein ish, karasi ve'ein oine. Why is it, says Hashem, that I came and there was nobody there? So to correct, that's what it's called a tikkun al Shavuos, to correct this idea that Am Yisrael didn't wake up on time to receive the Torah, we try to be up on the night of Shavuos right before receiving the Torah. Chassidus explains, and it's brought down in the Rebbe's Sichos, that the reason for Am Yisrael not being up that night wasn't just because they slept in, wasn't just because they were lazy. It was something they were looking forward to for 49 days. How could that be that Am Yisrael slept that night? Explains Chassidus that Am Yisrael, till Matan Torah, really thought that the way to become spiritual is by becoming detached from the world. That's just always the way that they knew. They knew you want to become spiritual, you have to be some kind of a person that's detached. Just like the Oves, we're shepherds, we're far away from the city, far away from being involved in physical ideas and involvement. And Am Yisrael realized that when it comes to Matan Torah, according to what they knew till now, the way to become the most spiritual is by detaching their neshama from the body. What's the way that a person could detach his neshama from his body? By going to sleep. They went to sleep, they detached their neshama from their body, and therefore they thought their neshama could have whatever spiritual revelation that has to be done on that night. That's the way that explains the Chassidus. Why did they make a mistake? The mistake was that we know that since Matan Torah, it's not two separate entities, spiritual world and physical world. It's one entity. It's one mitzvah, physical and spiritual. And that's why the hachana for Matan Torah that we do today is by being physical and spiritual, by having our neshama in our body and being awake and being conscious, and only then receiving the Torah. Now, the way to do it is first of all to be up, but not just to be up and waste our time, but to be up and learn Torah. There is a thing that we try to do called tikkun. Tikkun Leil Shavuos was established originally by the Beis Yosef. Later on, it was more detailed by the Holy Arizal, by the Shloah Kodesh. The idea of Tikkun Leil Shavuos is that we have little parts of every single part of Torah. There's a part of every single parsha in Torah, a part of Navi, part of Ksuvim. Later on, we read the whole Taryag mitzvahs. We read a part of Zohar. There's Mishnayos. Some people say Mishnayos at night. Some people don't say Mishnayos at night. And that's the idea of, obviously, Sefer HaYetzirah, and, as we said, the Zohar. And that is the Hachana from Matan Torah, showing that we have an equal part in Torah. Everybody has their part in Torah, but there's an equal part of Torah of saying the basic words of Torah. Everybody ki ish echad belev echad, which is so important as a hachana from Torah, to be united, to be together, to be in love, and to be bounded and as one. And that's the way that many of the Rabbeim would say Tikkun Leil Shavuos. We know that among the Mekubalim, they would say Tikkun Leil Shavuos, the Shlo, the Chidah, the Ben Ishchai, the Chassam Sefer. By the Yemenites, the Maharitz used to say Tikkun Leil Shavuos. And this is the way that many people would receive the Torah and prepare themselves for receiving the Torah. However, there are some communities that the minig there is not to say the Tikkun, but to learn Torah, just to learn Torah. For sure, when it comes to different types of communities like Chabad houses, you want to have the people up. You don't just want them to read the Tikkun, so you can read certain parts of the Tikkun, and the rest of the time to have shiurim, to have workshops, to have things that should be involved, and to involve the people in Torah, in preparing for Torah, and obviously preparing for receiving the Torah, and obviously giving them the taste of the sweetness of Torah that was given to Am Yisrael on the day of Shavuos.